Okay, we have the Revell model Kenworth W900 Aerodyne semi truck that we're going to be building. Okay, and this is a brand new kit. I just got it. I ordered it from Amazon, and so now I'm going to take the lid off. We're going to start laying out the parts and the pieces, and kind of. Sometimes I don't always follow step by step because sometimes you have to paint things different colors than the other parts. So anyway, right here we have the cab of the truck. We have the front cowling for the engine in the front of the truck. We have the driver's area and some other parts. We have the truck chassis. Okay. We have these parts here, the parts of the wheels and seats and other things. We have some windshields and the window parts there. The wheels. We have the chrome parts like the fuel tanks and the steps and the front bumper and the exhaust pipes. Some more chrome pieces. These are pieces of the wheels and the front grille and other things. And this is the directions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
What's your name, sir?
David.
How long you doing that kind hobbies?
Well, I've been doing this ever since I was a kid, and I used to do it. Probably the first one I done, I maybe was like 12 or 13, but I didn't have paint or anything like that, and I couldn't afford different things. So the first few I didn't paint, you know. But after that, I did a few and painted, and then in the 80s. I got to where I was doing them pretty regular. I did a bunch of NASCARs and some vintage cars and some different type racing cars like funny cars and Top Fuel dragsters and stuff like that. And so, and I did a couple of military aircrafts and stuff like that. But this is the second truck that I'm doing. The other one was a Peterbilt. This one is a Kenworth, you know. So anyway, so this is the directions, and it shows here the chassis and then the fuel tanks. But we're not going to do the fuel tanks. We're not going to put the fuel tanks on the chassis because we want to paint the chassis gloss black, but we don't want to paint the fuel tanks. Okay. Then it shows here the wheels will be next. But I'm not going to worry about the wheels right now because the wheels will be the last thing that I put on the truck, so I don't have to do the wheels, okay? And then on this page, it shows some of the chassis pieces and the air tanks. Okay, the air tanks here, it shows them that I had to paint them aluminum. So I'm not going to put them on there yet. I got to paint them, okay? And then some of the other exhaust pieces, we got the crossover pipe and the exhaust collector. We got to paint them two pieces before we put on. And then we have the engine. The engine's going to get painted yellow, Caterpillar yellow. Okay. And then you got some parts on it that's going to get painted black, but mostly yellow. And so now, then over here you get into working on the cab and stuff. But you notice this pipe right here, it's got to get painted aluminum and black. So I'm probably going to skip around and do the parts that I'm going to end up painting. I'm going to go ahead and paint. So anyway, let's find the. Here's some of the pieces that I'm going to paint. Okay. This is the air tanks. I'm going to paint them gray. This is the belt, the fan belt. I'm going to paint that black. Okay, so those are parts that I'm going to end up. So I'm going to go ahead and paint some of the parts that's going to get painted. Here's one. This is the, let's see here. Okay, this is the crossover pipe. Everything is numbered. See, that's 68. Let's look on here, see if that's 68. Yes, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off. That's going to get painted. And this piece right here is right here. It's going to get painted, so I'm going to take it off. And some of the other parts will get painted too, but these are the ones that and these are part of the wheels. I'm going to paint them black. Black. So I got to take them off and get them ready to paint. And then after you take them off, you have to clean up the little places where it was attached to the thing. Okay. Here's one. That's going to get painted black. These parts are going to get painted black. So I'm going to lay out the parts that I'm going to have to paint to start with. These are going to get painted. This is going to get painted. This is wheel parts. So right now, this is the seat. I'm going to paint it black. Okay, that's about all the parts that I'm going to take off right now. And I'm going to paint those. And so that's going to take a while. So I'm going to get the paint ready and paint these. And then we'll show you what it looks like, these parts, once they're painted. Okay, we done got some of the parts painted. We got our back side of our wheels painted black. The fifth wheel is painted black. The belts are painted black, but I got to come back and do gray on the pulleys, or silver. The radiator is painted black. The engine is painted yellow. And the hoses are black and the filters are black. And I got the seats painted, the steering column, and the dash. I got it painted black, but then I got to come back and paint the instruments. The manuals gives you ideas, suggestions on what colors to use, but you don't have to use the colors that it says. You can just use whatever colors you choose. And I like to use Testors paint. Testors is the brand name of the paint. You can get it in a lot of different colors, but these are just your basic colors. Is what I have here. And the reason I use Testors is because that's what I used whenever I was a kid, and I've just been using it ever since. And it's readily available in most hobby shops and on at Amazon. And also the body, the fenders and all, and the chassis. I haven't painted them yet, but I'm gonna hang those up and spray paint those because those are the ones that you really want those to look good. Okay. By no means am I a professional and don't pretend to be. I just do this as a hobby and do it for my own enjoyment. I don't do these to display in any way, fashion, or form, except just for my enjoyment only. So anyway. So I got the black painted. I'm fixing to start painting the silver. Some professional hobbyists, they would have devices that you would hold the parts that you're going to paint. But I don't. I just, I could get them. I thought about getting some kind of devices, but I just had never got them because I don't do this that often. But here lately, since I retired a couple of years ago, and it gives me a little bit more time to do stuff like this. And just recently I've started thinking about doing some more hobbies with models and stuff. And I was going through some of my old stuff that I had stored, and I found several car kits that I had never built. And so that kind of piqued my interest. I said, wow, now that I'm retired, I could probably build some of these kits. So I built 2 cars, Darrell Waltrip NASCARs, and I built a Jeff Gordon NASCAR. And then I built this truck right here too. This is a completed truck. This is a Peterbilt, Revell brand Peterbilt. Everything about it was white. I decided to paint the truck blue. I didn't put the decals on it that came with it. I just chose to leave it just basic, you know. And there's the engine. And the interior, I didn't spend as much time on the interior because it's hard to see in the windows anyway. If you was going to do this for a show vehicle or something, or compete or whatever, obviously you'd want to do much better than what I'm doing. But this is just for display in my office for my own enjoyment, you know. And it just gives me something to do with my spare time, something that I like to do, that I always wanted to do when I was a kid, but I couldn't always afford to. And even the ones that I did when I was a kid, they wasn't done as good as I would have liked to them because I couldn't always have everything that I would have liked to have had for painting. And now I just do the best I can with what I have. And some professionals would probably do everything a little different than I'm doing it, but for me, this is plenty good, you know. And as the end results, you can see from the blue truck, the end results, it looks really nice. The colors,
Yes,
you know.
yes, looks very nice. Thank you, David.
Okay, we got the first coat of paint on. We're gonna let it dry real good. And then we're going to put the second coat of paint on. And hopefully everything will look good when we're done. So the body's going to be red. And that's about it. I'll put the second coat on, then we'll see what it looks like when it's dry. Okay, we got the chassis painted. And it's looking good. We painted it black. We're going to put another coat of paint on it once this is dry. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Videoing now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, all the parts that we have to paint are painted. The cab that was white is painted red. I think it turned out really well. The rear fenders that goes over the wheels in the back, they're painted. And they're going to match the cab. This is the interior of the truck. The seats that's going in, it's going to be black, and the dash, which is right here, it's going to go inside of it. And then the seats are black, and the steering wheel is black. And the engine is all painted, except for I got to put a couple more pieces on the engine. The rear fenders, or the rear mud flaps, or flaps, and radiator, the air cleaners, everything's painted pretty much. May have to do a little touch up here and there, but overall everything is painted. The only thing as far as like finish work that I have to be done would be to apply the decals if I choose to put them on. I haven't really made up my mind if I'm going to go with the way the box shows. The box shows it being painted orange with the white decals, which white decals would look fine on the red too. Or it shows on the box 2 different versions that you could do it with the lightning decals. I think I kind of like the lightning decals, but I don't know yet which one I'm going to use. I just kind of like the red color just to stand out on its own. But now I think I'm going to start working on the wheels, attaching the rims. These 4 right here are for the rear. These 2 are for the front. And so now I'm going to get these off here. I got to put the wheels on the rims. And the thing about these, this is the only part of this kit that I really don't like the way it's designed. Everything else I think was designed really well. All the pieces fit together really well. I just don't like the way the rims go together, but that's the only thing I don't like about it. One thing that's got these plastic pins that stick through, and they got to go all the way through all 3 pieces, and the wheels and everything. And then these don't fit tight enough to hold itself in place, so you have to glue them. And in order to glue them, you got to scrape the silver off. But they still, I've found in the past, that they don't hold that well using the testers or regular plastic cement. So I'm going to use, on this, I'm going to use super glue on these parts right here. This is designed for model airplanes, you know. So anyway, all right, so I'm going to remove these pieces from here. I got to be careful not to break them or break the little pins off. So that one's going to get removed now. And I cut this one. You can also take these off with a pair of side cutters, but this hobby knife works really well for this too, you know. Okay, these are all the back ones, the back wheels, and these 2 are the front if it's going to take them off. Okay, so once I trim the little pieces off the edges where it's attached to the sprue, then I'll start attaching the wheels. So, here are the wheels. I really would prefer the wheels to have been a little bit wider and a little bit more of aggressive tread than a regular street tread, and you can always upgrade the tires, you know, you can buy aftermarket wheels. But anyway, these are the wheels that we're going to use, and they'll look good on it. And so anyway, I'm going to get started gluing these together, and we'll come back and let you look and see what it looks like once they're done. It's going to go, excuse me, like this. It's a little aggravating to get it lined up right. You got just 3 holes in it, and you have to have it turned the correct way, and I think I have it turned. Okay, that's the correct way. All right, now that's this side. Then next, this goes on, but you have to have it turned. This is the little bit aggravating. You have to make sure that all the pieces are turned correctly. And then another wheel has to have it turned correctly. And then you got these 3 pins sticking through, and then what goes on next is the hub. Turn that right. Okay, and that's one wheel assembly. Okay, then on to the next. And then we'll just put all of them together and then we'll come back and we'll show them being attached to the truck. Okay, now we have the engine put in the chassis, the engine's in place, and so then we have our wheels together that we was working on, have all those together, and they're ready to go on. I'll place them on here. They just snap on. Make sure they turn free after you get them on. Okay, and put the other ones on the other side. So all the rear wheels are on now. The engine's in, and we're going to put the front wheels on. Have to be careful because they're tight fit going on. You don't want to break anything. That one's on. May have to get a little paint off of this one to get it to go on there. With the wheels on, and so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to follow the directions at this point. We're going to okay, we're going to put the fan belt. Where's it? There it is, right there. Actually, I should have did that before we put the engine in there, but I didn't. So now it's going to make it a little bit hard to get on, but it's going to go just fine. Take a little screwdriver and push this in. Already past this step. We got these parts put on. That's this pipe, this crossover right here. That's going to go to the stacks. Going to turn the page. Then we're going to have to put the drive shaft in. Okay, the drive shaft, the short part goes, the part with this on it goes toward the front. Okay. In order to do that, we're just going to flex it a little bit and stick it in the, let's see this way. Let me see. See where the hole is. Is that I gotta clean the paint out of the hole a little bit. Okay, there's the drive shaft in. Okay. Drive shaft's connected to the rear end. The wheels are on, looking good. Okay, we got the steps put on. And so that's about it for right now. And then this is going to come on the back of it real soon. And these will go here like this, but I'm going to wait to let that paint dry a little bit longer. This is actually ready to go on, but I'm not going to put it on just yet. I'm going to probably wait and do it last, you know. Okay, and then we'll move on to some more things. You can.
Oh no, just yeah.
Okay, the chassis is pretty much complete. All the wheels are on, the steps are on, the tanks are on, the engine's on, the radiator's on, the fifth wheel, and now I think the only thing new is I've got the fenders over the front rear wheels. The bottom side is pretty much complete. And anyway, so now the cab is pretty much complete. I didn't really detail the sleeper area that much because you're not going to really be able to see it anyway very well, you know. And so now, these are the only parts that's left to put on right here, okay? And I already got the headlights on the cowling. And so now I got to put the lights on the top, the horn, the pipes, the air filters, the crossover, and the mirrors, and the front bumper, and some little handles. And that'll be pretty much it. So if it's going to get started doing that, I think I'm going to put the grill on next. Make sure that everything lines up good. Okay. Okay, now the grill's on. Okay. Now we're gonna put the lights on the top. Okay, there's one. It's two. Okay, now we got all the lights on the top. Need to come back and paint the ends of them yellow. Now we're going to put the horns on. Just one. Two. Okay. Now we're going to put the mirrors on. This is the left. I mean the right, not left. I'll have to clean some paint out of the hole here. Clean a little bit more out. A little bit more. It's a little tight. Okay, we got the cab pretty much together, and it's time for it to go on the truck chassis onto here. But we're going to go ahead and put our front bumper on first. Okay, got our front bumper on. And now we got our grill and our headlights on there. We're gonna put this in. Have to be extra careful that I don't break anything. Okay, we got our front of our truck on. Engines there, okay. Now, we're going to put our cab on. I think I'm going to put the front on first. Sometimes you just have to guess which way it would go better. Okay, the truck is basically done, all except for the decals, and I'm not sure exactly which decals that I'm going to put on it. I think I just like it with just the red with not a lot of decals on it. I think to me it just looks better. I'm going to probably put, I put the Kenworth on the back, and I'm going to put an American flag right here and some numbers, and then it's got these little decals right here, Lightning Express. I think I'm going to put them on the sides right here. And then, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do any other decals. That might be all the decals that I do. But anyway, we'll take a look at it once I decided I'm done. But pretty much everything is done. I think it turned out reasonably well.
Looks good. Looks pretty.
I mean, it's not a professional. It's not professional, and I don't pretend to be. I gotta make an adjustment on the hood, I think. This, I don't pretend to be a professional.
Take
but
this plate out, David. Aside, yeah.
But anyway, it's fun just to do, just to give me something to do, and just enjoy my time doing something creative, you know. But anyway, so.